Well, hello there, tankers of Blitz Universe. A small little guide on tank destroyers because it's not always Kemp Bush for the win. As you can see, we're flicking through some of the tank destroyers in the game because, yeah, there are tank destroyers and there are assault guns. Where the mediums in Blitz, they have more or less the same playstyle with all the tanks there is, and heavies in a way as well. Tank destroyers have a lot of variation. As you can see, you have them turreted, you have the real assault guns, and you have non-armored tank destroyers like this one, the Death Toaster, fairly quick ones. Then you have the big derpy ones, the Borsigs of this world. And if you compare the Borsig to the Ferdinand or the Tier 9 counterparts in the German line, the Waffle against the Jagd, then you can see that it is not that easy to make a guide on how to play a tank destroyer. One more example, in Tier 8, the Russian ones, the SU-101. Far more mobile, very good gun on it, but compare that to this big hard-hitting BL-10 armed ISU-152. That shows that, yeah, there's no just one way to play a tank destroyer. You have to know what your tank can do, in what class is it settled really. Is it like this one, an 82, very high rate of fire, 90 damage per shot, good gun. It would be a waste to sit at the back with this one, whereas, for example, this little bugger, the Death Toaster, that is pretty much one to sit at the back. 220 per shot, a lesser rate of fire, and the Sturmgeschütz, which sits in the middle, 11 rounds a minute at 160 alpha per shot. So yeah, it's debatable on how you have to play tank destroyers. There are people who insist on sitting in the back and just doing really that. Sit in the back, Kemp Bush for the win, because their reasoning is, I'm a tank destroyer and I'm supposed to snipe, and according to them sitting in a tank destroyer and sniping from the back is the way to play, and that is the only way. You can see here we're diving into the replays. I have 3 for you today. I'm in the 82. It is supremacy on Castilla, which I don't really like in an 82, but yeah, that's what happens in terms of the matchmaking. And I'm actually not liking what the team is doing here as well. It all works out pretty easily in the end. But Reds are capturing C, which we managed to reset here. They are capturing A as well. We have this VK spotted. We can just keep shooting them, work the DPM. I haven't even used adrenaline yet. But what I want to do here is hopefully try to push on the KV. Fires and misses. We can put 2 shots into him. Still no adrenaline loaded. Trying another shot that dunks into the ground. But you can see we are going to get this base sorted because, yeah, the 82, that's an assault gun. It's slow, it's not very maneuverable, it has good frontal armor against tier 5s and 4s, but against a KV2 who knows what to do, and Mr. Blasty in his SU-100Y. Then you will have a bit of a problem. The team isn't really helpful, so I decided to push forwards anyways, and you can see where he's pondering what to do. I bounced 1 shot on his gun method, but here we go, 1 shot, adrenaline loaded, 2, 3, and another one, which we just are not able to hit. We bounce shot from that KV and we can finish him off. And this is what you can do in one of these tank destroyers. High rate of fire, good armor. This is an assault gun. If you're playing an 82 from the back, you're just doing it wrong, basically. Because you can see it's just too slow to keep an eye out on the map and then be in time for an encounter cap to be reset, or maybe an A or B or C cap to be captured back from the enemy. But what you can do here, we bounce a shot from tier 34, and we managed to pop in 2 shots straight into him. which is going to help us massively in the end, because we got a bit scared. He decided to push back. You can see what the team is doing. They see another tank, so they think I have to go over there. I keep an eye out on my minimap. I can see the tanks at my back, which I don't like, but I want to know, are there any tanks over here? Apparently not, so I'm going to just turn around and sit here, and yeah, everybody's on that side. We're slowly going to work our way into the B cap. Oh, there is another one. He's on top. That means I am turning around again. Hello, I have my cupola behind the building. We bounce a casual shot from the left. Can we shoot at AMX? No, we can't. So driving backwards again. There we go. In this small little encounter, and of course I'm a bit lucky in the little bounce, and that AMX-12 trying to snipe from the top and not decided not to rush me. You have to be a bit lucky in that regard. But you can see a tank destroyer like this, it can be very, very vulnerable against a light tank, especially things like an AMX who know what to do. But then again, if you know what to do and they don't, thank you very much for ramming into me. You attract him plays and I can just DPM the crap out of you now. I haven't lost any hit points yet, except for some tracks, etc. So he keeps resetting the cap, but I keep him perma-tracking plays. Happy days. Don't get the kill, unfortunately. Only one kill on the KV, but in this small little encounter you could see what happened to me really. If that AMX-12T was a capable driver, he would have gotten around me and would have been able to take me out pretty effectively. But then again, he didn't. He wasn't a very capable player. So yeah, I didn't get punished for it. But it does show that a slow tank destroyer doesn't really like to sit alone, because an isolated 82 is most of the time a dead 82. So yeah, in a way this guide on how to play tank destroyers also can be viewed as a guide to other players. Look at what a tank destroyer can do. A tank destroyer isn't always, it may sound stupid for me to say, a tank destroyer isn't always a tank destroyer. Sometimes you are a shot of hail, basically, just chipping away at the health of enemy tanks. This one on my right side, the Sture Emil, that one is a tank destroyer. It has a huge gun, it has no armor, at least not a lot of armor. That one is really a tank destroyer, ISU-152, but yeah, if that one fires and misses and is caught out in the open, you can see what I can do here with the Jagd 10.5. Of course it's a Jagd 88, but I have the 10.5 fitted. I'm not spotted, so I spot I dead. Lol, yes you are dead, Mr. T54 lightweight. But you can see what I can do here now against this T32, adrenaline loaded, keep him perma-tracked in place. Is he going to shoot me? No, he isn't. We can keep him tracked. Driver dead. There we go, kill shot. Rip. Thank you very much for showing up. You can also see what I'm doing in regards to angling my hull. I know that big rock was over there, and we're going to talk about that later in Talk Through Tactics videos on map reading, etc. I had my hull angled. I had nothing to fear from any tanks on my right side. This is a blind shot into the usual sniping spot on the Reds area. Why am I doing that? There's no one spotted, and I was hoping that the light bulb would go off, and that meant that someone else was spotting me. But you can see here as well that the team is bundling up. We are in a bit of a problem. That's the Emil, probably hit by the SU-152 or the T-28. He fires. Stupid move. Why fire? Because everybody knows now that he's there. I can put one more shot into that M6A2E1. The Emil is going down in about 10 seconds from now, I think. But you can see we are still... this isn't a brilliant position at the moment. For me it is, but team-wise it isn't brilliant. They still have that light tank from the missile exercise event, so goes to show I have taken a long time to use this bit of video. Finally got around to using it. One shot into the cheeks of that E2, E1. Swapped the skill rounds because I wanted to make that kill. Maybe wasn't really necessary, but wanted to have some extra penetration anyways. And now is the time to move. Why is the time to move now? because a T-28 is spotted, that ISU is spotted. There was a shot from the T-49 ATM, came from the left, so I know he's somewhere in the area around the cap. I can not shoot at AMX 50-100, but I do know that we will have a bit of a problem if the red tanks manage to push onto that IS and the IS-3. I'm not very confident in the skills of my teammates at the moment. 49 is on the cap counter rolling, and here we go in terms of prioritizing targets as well. I want a T-28 out first. I will need 2 shots with Bram rounds on him. He shoots our IS-3. Did he get ammo racked? I don't know. Maybe. Bit of a low roll. Maybe I could have used AP, but yeah, hey ho. I'm okay with it. I wanted you out as well. ISU takes out the T-28 Proto. And we can now take out the ISU. There we go. And I've been keeping an eye on the minimap, so I know the T-49 is coming from the cap area, and that means he should be somewhere around my position. Oh, he's on our spawn. He bounces and we shoot him. Thank you very much. If I had stayed on our spawn area, the usual tank destroyers sit there and snipe area, then I think we would have been flanked to death. Then I would have had a problem really, because I wouldn't have been able to shoot that ISU-152 behind the big rock. I wouldn't have been able to shoot the T-28, and I would have been flanked by the T-49. Got probably derped in the back, and that would have been the end of it, because in the end it turned out to be quite a close game in terms of tanks left. So yeah, you have to adapt to the situation at hand. And sometimes you find yourself in a tank destroyer and the map isn't really favorable to you. Himmelsdorf in the Waffle, supremacy, not the best thing there is. They have a light tank, they have a Centurion 7/1, a tier 9 medium with hash, and my teammates aren't going towards A or whatever they are not spotting, so that isn't really brilliant. Right, let's try to move in, hopefully get some shots off. That's the first spot mate, that is a Cent 7/1. There we go, he is not spotting me, I'm still unspotted. He is moving away, that means that the back of his engine deck is wide open to me, so load HE even if I have the small gun on the Waffle, and derp him from the back for 638. So yeah, in that regard, you have to adapt from time to time on what is happening on the map. The Waffle is not ideal on a map like Himmelsdorf, because it hasn't got any armor. You can't really bounce shots on it. It's basically a very big gun, or a very good sniping gun on tier 5 chassis. So against tier 10s you will have even more of a problem. But then again, you have a very good gun, and it is mobile enough to just go around on the battlefield, and fellow contributor Gentleman will be thinking, my god, you're a madman, why are you driving it like a medium? Well, because it's possible, and because we have to. I can put a shot into that KV4, but do make a bit of a mistake here. Should have gone forward into the dip on the right. I realized that too late. But the KV4 shot me anyway, so I can just sit here, wait for another shot to become available, and then go into a bit more cover. Turn the tank around, I have better gun depression over the back. There we go, I will expose just a bit less in terms of my gun, and I can kill the KV4. Reds, in the meantime, I have managed to capture 3 caps, but I'm good over here. I know where they are. So I can now try to shoot the next one. There we go, there we go. Hello, AMX. Now I wish I had the big gun, the derp gun, because I might have been able to finish him off. As it appears, I'm not. Is he reloading? Oh, crap, he wasn't reloading. He had still 1 left in the clip. But he's taken care of by our AMX. 5120 or 5100, I'm not sure which one it was. So we can keep rolling on onwards towards this ISU-152, which is a stock. He fired, you can see it from the smoke. There we go, 1 shot into you. And I'm now starting to realize, okay, I might be able to get a red leaf from this one, or maybe even a pulse medal, especially once the red waffle becomes a definite one-shot to me. And there we go, driving around. We will get the pulse medal by the last kill shot on this poor old IS-3. There we go. But like I said, you have to adapt from time to time. Tank destroyers are not tanks to sit at the back per se. Some things are meant to sit at the back and support, like the Waffle 9 out of 10 times. But on this map, this game, Supremacy Himmelsdorf, I had to adapt. So take a good look at your tank destroyer. What does it have? Does it have armor? Does it have a big gun? Is it a demolisher? Can it do really big damage to the enemy? Then by all means get that damage, get the assets of your tank destroyer into the game, and don't sit at the back just because you're a tank destroyer. I mean, that's the wrong gameplay. Right, more tactical videos and thoughts on gameplay videos are coming up very shortly. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you all on the next one. Cheers and happy tanking.